Okay, day 89, part 2 of Braverman, Haiti, and me. I've asked Eric Braverman to go to Haiti with me so we can review the USAID money that was spent there, Clinton Foundation money that was spent. Until he responds, we're just going to do storyboards of different Clinton operations, Syria, Libya, so forth, Haiti, Honduras. And instead of doing what Frank Giustra does, which just tells the middle of the story, every story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. So I'll just add the beginning on every story, and I'll add the end on how it turned out. So I'll add the conspirators at the beginning, and then they can tell that story at the middle, and then I'll add how it turned out. And Haiti is what I'm focused on mainly, but I'll keep going around as we focus on different Frank Giustra partners. Late breaking news. I believe that the Attorney General here in the Southern District of New York, the District Attorney working with the New York Attorney General, have submitted papers to give everyone in the Clinton Foundation amnesty, every person. So just a blanket amnesty for the Clinton Foundation, and I believe that is on the President's desk and has already been signed. So you heard it here first. Anyway, Frank Giustra at Lionsgate, he's pledged $100 million or so to the Clinton Foundation. So is Carlos Slim. They're in it together at Lionsgate. That is all going to be movie money, the laundry, that's the movie laundry into the Clinton Foundation. I do believe that El Chapo is being arraigned in New York today as a cover to get the attention off of the filing of the papers for the Clinton Foundation amnesty, or not amnesty, a pardon. So that's late breaking news. I'll go back to where I was before part 1 got cut off. I'm going to just tell the story of these different Frank Giustra partners. He has these partnerships, and that's how they funnel money through to the Clinton Foundation. And I'm going to focus here on Bill Swing being one of them. He was the ambassador to Haiti during Bill Clinton's administration. He's currently in Haiti in a kind of an NGO role, which is kind of a migration authority. In the last episode, I explained how I thought that Haiti was going to be divided between North, Central, and South. The dividing line here was going to be at the central line. The main battle conflict is going to be here at Mira Baile, which it has been historically as well. DynCorp, the police authority there, has ordered 250,000 body bags. This is where all the testing of vaccines is going to happen, up here, down here. And this is a replay of Bill Swing's, what he did in Congo. He started in Rwanda and went across and cut Congo in half and kept the resources. So here's where I left it last time. And I said, okay, this guy, I misspelled Lucas. Lucas Lundin is this mining guy. He's pledged $100 million to the Clinton Foundation. He's worth $20 billion. He gets Kagame, who in Rwanda, to be the insertion point for cutting Congo in half. You're going to find that Sudan is the same story. And you're going to find Kagame going all the way back to Uganda and Idi Amin, learning how to do all this with Idi Amin. And I said, okay, here's what ends up happening. They get this super rich uranium in these mines, these forced labor mines, and that's the easy story if you want to hear the easy story. If you want to hear the interesting story, I'm going to use kind of the heart of darkness as the way of telling the story. So here's the Congo River. And so the story is going to be serpentine, and so is the Congo River, okay? And if you haven't read Heart of Darkness or Apocalypse Now was based on it, this guy, it starts at the beginning, Marlowe, and as he gets further and further, he starts out with this kind of belief, kind of like me or a lot of the investigators, like the world's a good place. And as he gets further and further, it gets more and more evil as he gets down further and further down the river until he meets this guy named Kurtz, and that's Marlon Brando in the Apocalypse Now. And so that's the heart of darkness. It's kind of like realizing that things are this evil. So as we go along the river, it's going to be kind of like the Disney Jungle Cruise. When we get about here, I'm going to talk about Joe Wilson and Valerie Plame. Joe Wilson's the guy who did the partition of South Sudan, and this same partitioning here in Sudan is the same partitioning that's going to happen here in the Congo to get this uranium down here. The same thing's going to be true for tin and a couple of other things in Congo. Congo is blessed and cursed both with incredible mineral resources. Now, I want to leave Valerie Plame out of this. Joe Wilson knows what he's doing as an economic spy, and he doesn't necessarily launch the military here, but he certainly knew what was happening when he divided Congo and divided Sudan and divided Haiti and all these other ones. But mainly sub-Saharan Africa is going to be Joe Wilson's specialty. Valerie Plame goes back to a time where, fair game and so forth, where there really was kind of this sexy spy, and they would actually do the pillow talk to find out what was going on, and you didn't have all this with the cameras and so forth. Now, Tyler Drumheller filmed a lot of it without her knowing, but she was kind of in the old days, the only one I would compare against Putin. Putin had this kind of Natasha super spy girl, and this is Anna Chapman. And these are the women that, speak 12 languages and they know everything, and I don't know where they came up with it, but our economic spy program was kind of a response to this Natasha program. So I'm not saying that the U.S. is, the U.S. is kind of answering the competition here with Valerie Plame. So the Soviet Union's not out of there's more than enough blame to go around. And this is the 2003 ring, and I'm not saying that, everybody gets compromised, including myself at times. But anyway, as we go around the river here, we're going to find Madame Curie, the first woman to win 2 Nobel Prizes. She discovers polonium, she discovers radium. How she did all that was she started with this pitch blend, and she found that this was the most radioactive substance, and then she kept crystallizing it and coming down with, breaking it down to the most radioactive component, which is radium. And that launches the nuclear age, the atomic bomb. As you come further down here, you get to this mine at the end of the river, which is this 65% pitch blend, which is more rich than any other place in the world. Most mines in the U.S., it's about 1%. Even if they now discover 3% pitch blend, it's considered a good mine. So this is how valuable this was. This is what was taken for the Manhattan Project and shipped to Staten Island, the same place where Laura Graham at the Clinton Foundation is about ready to drive her car, off the Staten Island ferry to commit suicide. That's where it was kept. And then went over to make history and became the Hiroshima bomb, this thing. So this is why these people from the State Department are tracking this, because it is a matter of world, we have to track weapons of mass destruction, so you have to track the raw resources. But what I'm saying is Joe Wilson took that knowledge and said, okay, I'm going to bring in, Lucas Lundin, and those types of people, and the Kagamis, and this I think ended up 6 million people. He was not only responsible for the 1994 genocide, but the first Congo War and the second Congo War, all within Bill Clinton's administration. So today's movie is Lucas Lundin. Sorry about it. Should be a K there. Oh, also, Lucas Lundin is Swedish, and he's friends with Kurt Bildt. I don't know if you remember Kurt Bildt from earlier episodes, but Kurt is the guy who George Soros recommended come in and take over Albania. Soros is going to call on Carl Bildt, good friends with Zbig Brzezinski, to come in and do this DynCorp thing. So Carl Bildt's going to be your DynCorp guy when it's all said and done. So here it is, the Juster partners, this 1,000 partners. I can go 1,000 days with these hidden donors and just tell a movie every day, and that's going to be the strategy, I think. And we, for instance, every day something new comes out. For instance, the Cemex, I mentioned here earlier, and I've been saying this for 50 days. Was one of the contractors. What they do here is in this Cap Haitien, they let the proposal go almost to the end, and then at the last minute, they triple the amount of money for Cemex. So this is the MO for the Clinton Foundation, is they'll go all the way to the end, and then they'll say, oh, no, we need 3 times more concrete. And that 2/3 extra padding is the bribe. So as I said before, cement is great because it's not like cordwood or beams that can be counted. It's just this kind of sloshy, sloppy thing that makes for a great slush fund. That's why you're going to find Lafarge with Hillary as another thing that they use for a bribe funnel. So anyway, Mirabalais is where it's all going to happen. Big investments there. I just wanted to say that nothing. Oh, and I'm going to get to India, by the way. And I just wanted to show really quickly visually. In 3 minutes, I put this slide together about India with the pipelines in India, to the Iran, it's different, methodologies to get gas to India and then get it into the country and then get it over here. It gives you more of an understanding of the politics in India in 5 seconds than all the, if you'd watched CNN for 20 years, you wouldn't have this understanding of India. Now you know the politics of India just in a flashcard almost. And I'm going to be talking with Cynthia McKinney about Bangladesh. We're going to talk about every time you see that kidney harvesting, kidney to pay off the microloans, the microloan sharks, the next thing is organ harvesting. And we're going to talk about organ harvesting in Bangladesh. So lastly, I'll just say the traffic is kind of reverse slavery in a way. In slavery, they brought the slaves from Africa to Haiti first. Now they're taking the kids from Africa, going over to Jeffrey's Island. They're showcasing the kids on the internet with the pictures, but then they're test driving the kids in Little St. James Island. And then from there, Jeffrey is flying these kids 30 at a time or 20 or however many at a time to Africa. That's what's happening. That's where Jeffrey's going on his plane to Africa and other places. He's going to South America too with the Dominican Republic kids and so forth. But that's the follow Jeffrey's plane. His tail number's there, and that's what's happening. Okay, that's all. Let's watch Trump's inauguration. Nothing really changes, though. I just wanted to say that. Nothing in this whole situation changes. This whole DynCorp thing with Pug Winokur and with the human trafficking from DynCorp doesn't really change. This is all stays in place with the change of administration. This stays in place. FBI is snug as a bug on a rug. This doesn't change. So anyway, that's it for today.